Now let's go through the follow-up program here real quick, because follow-up, like we said, is very, very important, okay? And there's 3 reasons why you want to follow up. Number 1, you want to make sure that they're taking it and they're taking it right, okay? Because sometimes people buy the product and just sit there with the last 15 things that they bought. And so you want to check on them and call them and see what's happening, okay? The other thing is that there's only 2 things that people can do other than cheating, okay, that can mess up the program, okay? So I found a couple little things that really helped me with people that got off track, okay? Because what happens is sometimes if they do have that reaction, it's not that many people that have this reaction, but when they do, most of the time, what do they think it is? The product, okay? So that's the follow-up program, okay? And you just want to call them, you know, like on the first day and then the 3rd day. You having fun down there? Okay? And the 7th day. And, you know, and just keep following up on them. For instance, they've lost 7 pounds, and now they go to the local family gathering, okay, after a week being on the product. And what is everybody doing at the family gathering? Eating like crazy, right? So they start eating like crazy, and guess what else they're doing? Drinking like crazy. So they're drinking like crazy and eating like crazy, and on Monday, they think they've messed up the whole program and stuff like that. And that's where the Herbalife distributor comes in, and you know, they call the person up and they say, "How you doing, Mary?" And she says, "Oh, awful, it's just terrible. You know, the first week I was losing all this weight, and then all my family members got around me and they were eating like pigs, and I started eating like crazy, and I started drinking like crazy. And not only that, my fat husband's on my back saying, 'You're a bad person for buying this product because you took up all my beer money.' And the little kids are in here saying, you know, 'Don't get on the diet, don't get on the diet,' because everything I've ever been, I've always been mean and nasty to my children and stuff like that." And she says, "Now listen, Mary, get a grip, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to lose weight on this stuff. Now get back in that kitchen and drink this product, and don't worry about your big, fat, negative husband. Get going." It's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited, and you get more confident, and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart. Okay? That is what people believe in. Having faith in the company. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the products. Have faith in us, because we're going to do the most unbelievable things you've ever seen in business history. Okay? And the way I kind of see Herbalife someday in the future, okay, is kind of like, if you could imagine coffee and tea, okay, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, okay, nobody really thought coffee was going to be that big a deal and stuff like that. But today, what's the deal, okay? Even if you don't drink coffee, you have to have coffee in your house. And the reason you have to have coffee in your house is you want to be a good host, so that when people come over and say, "Well, what would you like to drink?" they would say, "Well, I'd like to have some coffee." And it's kind of the way I see Herbalife. We're not that big yet, but someday when we get huge, you have to have Herbalife in your house. Ethics are ethics, okay? And we got to not only protect us, okay, but you got to protect everybody in the room, because as a unit, we can become 5 billion. As a unit, we can get to 10 billion. As a unit, we can get to 15 billion. And we'll be the kind of companies that we want our children to respect, and their children to respect. You know, the most important thing that I could say is, you know, if you keep to the plan that we talked about here of keeping the business simple
and keeping the product simple, using mostly the testimonials, keeping your opportunity meetings simple, keeping the business part of it simple, and doing 10 people a day to get 2 people to work down line with them. Help your people, just don't leave them alone, send them off to the meetings. Those are the most important thing. Besides that, it's going to be consistency, doing this day after day after day, okay? You're going to have some good days, and you're going to have some unbelievable days, okay? And going through the bad days are just as important as going through the good days, okay? It makes you a stronger person. It makes you more of a better person to get through the times that are rough in your life, not just with Herbalife, but your own personal life.
You don't beg people to get into the business. Sometimes, especially when you're new and you're in the back of the row there, okay, and you're talking, and when you're doing it at the beginning, it's always the hardest, okay? And the reason it's the hardest is because that's when you're the brokest, and that's when your car's not looking good, and your suit's not looking good, and you're afraid that they're going to turn off the electricity at your house, and you can't pay the mortgage bills, and you're scared about paying the food for little Billy and little Sally, and everything's terrible. So your attitude's the messed up the most, okay? So consequently, you're not that strong when you're recruiting, and you're begging people to get in, please get in so I can make some money. Most people could care less how much money you make. They only care about how much money they make themselves. That's what they care about. And let me tell you something. You shouldn't be begging them to get into this company. They should be begging you to get into this company. This is Herbalife. You got to get up and do meetings. Every single person in the room, you guys got to learn how to do meetings. If you're not doing meetings, you got to know how to do meetings. Period. Okay? That means you guys. Every one of you guys in the back, all you girls in the back, you got to get up and do meetings. Do the products, do the marketing plan, do the clothes, the whole thing. You got to know how to do it all. Okay? If you want to get up here and get like me, you want to get like the Chairman's Club members down here, you want to get like the President's team members, okay? They all know how to do meetings. Okay? And so you got to know how to do the meetings. We're not going to go through what's happening in the meetings. You guys know what to do. Okay? Here's what you do to do a meeting. Do one. You know what? Do one. Okay? And then if you don't do it so good, do another one. And if you don't do it so good, do another one. Trust me, you'll get good at it if you do it enough times. You won't keep getting up there and being a flop, trust me. You'll do it better and better and better. You got to learn how to do trainings. If you don't know how to do a training, easy. Go to one of the trainings, listen, learn, and then do one. Listen, learn, and then do one. See, you don't really got it in your mind until you're doing one. Okay? You're listening to it, you're absorbing it, okay? But it's going in one ear and out the other until you got to get up there and actually say the stuff. When you say it, you're going to know it. So you got to take responsibility for yourself first and get excited about what's happening to you, and that will excite other people because you have to match your pitch. If you're saying something and you are not matching the pitch, okay, then it's no wonder people don't believe so much. And again, I'm not trying to say it's got to be all at once. Here's the most important thing. Write this down. You got to make some progress, okay? Little by little by little by little so that you can keep yourself excited. I'm not any big speaker like Jim Rohn. I don't know how to talk to you about personal growth. Here's all I know is practice makes perfect. You listen, you learn, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try till you get better, you try till you get perfect, and then you try again until you're better than that. And then the last one is you never get satisfied with how good you are. You're always better the next time. That's all I know about personal growth. There's not a meeting that we're going to do that's not going to be better than the next one. Isn't this the best summit you've ever been to?
Huh? Huh? And trust me, the next one's going to be unbelievable. Because there's not ever going to be a meeting where we're satisfied enough. They're always going to be better, and we're always going to be doing it more incredible, and it's going to be more always unbelievable than the last one. That's the way it's got to be. If you want personal growth. That's all I know about personal growth. It's got to be better. That's all I know. Got to be better than the last one.
Treat all of your people great, okay? Including the ones that said no, by the way. Because they may be the one that you see 3 years from now, okay, that says, you know, I met you and you treated me terrible. Or they say to you, you know, I saw you about 3 years ago and you treated me real nice. What's happening with that Herbalife business? It's doing incredible, man. When I met you, I know I was only making about $2,000 a month, but it's just gotten unbelievable. And let me show it to you again, because it's gotten a lot better since then.
You're going to have to sit your family down and talk about your commitment. You're going to have to get the whole family bought in on the program, okay? And discuss it and agree. You're going to work this much. You're going to play this much. This is what it's going to mean if you do this, okay? If I work this hard, here's what we might get, okay? And keep your commitments, okay? And that may have to be refined from the day you start to the time you can become a GET team member. It may have to be refined. And when you become a millionaire team member, it may have to be refined. And when you get to the president's team, it may have to be refined. And then when your spouse sits there looking at you as a president's team member, and your burning desire is to go for chairman's club, okay? And they're getting on your nerves because they don't want you working like crazy to get to the chairman's club, okay? You're going to have one of those little sweet talks. Here's all I know what to do. You work hard when it's easy, and you work twice as hard when it's not easy. That's all I know what to do. Doesn't sound like real big advice, okay, but that's what I did. When the FDA happening, let me tell you something. I was working harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I was working the FDA problems. I was working like crazy. So what do you do to overcome adversity? You work twice as hard. That's what you do. You get out and you make it happen.
It's not who and what you are today that's important. It's what you can become in the future that's amazing. Okay? And if you have the desire to want to learn, and you have the desire to want to grow, and if you have the desire to want to be and have a better life and to be a better person, you can do it.
Anybody that's not a resident, that's outside of a country that's legally open, they can sign a distributor application, but they must have a residence in a country in which we're open. Okay? So if some guy from India wants to sign up, can they sign up? Yes. Where do they have to have an address? In any one of 24 countries in which we're open. Okay? Now, just because this person has an address, can they now do any business in India? No. Period. Can a person in India sign up an application in France and do business in America? Yes. Can he sign up on an app in the United States and do business in Germany? Yes. Okay? So that's the way the applications work. This international game, okay, that we're playing changes from time to time. Okay? And you guys are just going to have to get used to the changes, all right? Why does Herbalife change the rules from time to time? There's only one reason why we change the rules. Different laws, different situations that change. We're not kidding around about this Philippines things. We just got our products approved there. We're just in the process of opening the company up and so on. This means you cannot go over there and do business until the company says open. Okay, because what will end up happening is someone goes over there, does something illegal, does some kind of advertising that knocks us out of the ball game, does something wrong with the product, does something wrong with the marketing structure, and all of a sudden we're almost at the approval date, and bang, we're another year away from opening. We're just at the edge of opening that country up.
you could say, use, wear, talk, and then religion, religion, religion. I don't care what your religious beliefs are, okay? Have every kind of religious belief you want to. But if you start making that part of your pitch, okay, and you start making that part of your program, guess who you just didn't get? We have one mission here in Herbalife, if you haven't recognized it. It is making a better world for people to live in, taking better nutrition to the world, okay? That is our mission statement, okay? Everybody's got the freedom of believing in everything that they want, okay? But it's not use the products, wear the button, use the products, wear the button, talk to people, and see the Pope, okay? Because when it's use the products, wear the button, talk to people, see the Pope, guess who you're not going to get? The Jewish community. You see, the Arabics that are going to be involved in the company, okay? Any kind of person that you want to talk about. It's freedom of your choice to do with whatever your life that you want it to be. But if you really want to affect the world, you got to be loose about it and not put out your other hang-ups on other people. You can build your businesses a couple of ways. And you can make money some different ways in Herbalife, but at some point, building it wrong is going to catch up with you. And the only thing that's going to happen is that because of the way that Herbalife is, and because there's more good than there ever is the bad, there's only one thing that ends up happening. It catches up to you and it forces you out the door. It's the only thing that can possibly happen. And so what I mean by that is I know some of you are from some other countries, and then you're in some countries that are in a pretty fast go mode right at the moment. And sometimes you need to start thinking a little bit differently. And here's the way I'd like you to think. Every time you're making a decision, every time you're going to do something in your business, I'd like you to think, is this what Mark Hughes would be doing? Is that what Mark would do? Is that what he would do? See, that's something you need to know about Herbalife. Because you know what? There's a lot of other companies out there that they'd say, you know what? So what, it hurt a few people. Look at all the business we're getting in. I don't care if it's the loneliest little housewife that got into the company to the top president's team member in this organization. And we have gotten rid of some of the top people in our company in the past. And it don't make no difference. Principles are principles. And this company is going to sparkle, and it's going to shine, and we're going to be respectable, and we're going to do it the Herbalife way. And so when you think about these things, I want you to think about, would Mark Hughes be making this decision? Because let me tell you something, the decisions you're going to make are not only going to be the Mark Hughes consequences, number one, but number two, doing it the Mark Hughes way for year after year after year after year. And that's what you want, gang. It may be a little more difficult in the beginning. It may take you a little longer to get to where you want to go. But let me tell you something, in the end, you will win. You will win. Just as important, we will win. And that's got to do with all the integrity of the company. That means out of line buying, okay? Where someone comes to you and they want to buy it from you because it's a little bit easier. There's a lot of tendency sometimes to want to go ahead and sell it to the person, okay? Maybe their supervisor dropped out and stuff like that, and they come to you and they're begging you, geez, I'd like to buy some of your inventory. Remember, when you're selling it to that person, guess who you're stealing money from? Their first upline, their second upline, and their third line, and everybody upline that's in the 2, 4, 6 check. Stealing is what it's called. Stealing. I want you to think about that. And we're not going to allow for stealing. Not going to allow it. See, these rules and regulations that we've got in our company, in our plan, are to protect every single person in this room, no matter who you are. To the lowest little housewife in the company, to the auto mechanic that just gets started, that's got grease stains all over his cans, to the top person in the company with his Brooks Brothers suit. We don't care. Ethics are ethics. And we got to not only protect us, okay, but you got to protect everybody in the room, because as a unit, we can become 5 billion. As a unit, we can get to 10 billion. As a unit, we can get to 15 billion. And we'll be the kind of companies that we want our children to respect and their children to respect. So when you move and become a leader in the company, you got to move as a leader with integrity in all parts of the plan, even if it's a little bit slower, because the integrity of what we're doing in Herbalife has not only paid off now, but what it's going to pay off for us in the years to become is going to be nothing short of mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Trust me, they've been going on for 16 years, and this industry is only becoming more popular every single year. See, the multi-level industry is just becoming a way of doing business. In the future, it's going to become the way of doing business, not only here, but around the globe. It's going to be amazing as we affect the globe. Do you realize that Herbalife's only in just a very small section of the globe at this moment? We're only in a population right now of about 1,400,000,000 people. There's still almost 4 billion people that we're not even involved with yet in other countries. And when we get to those 4 billion and these other companies crash and burn, guess who's going to be standing there as the company that's got the integrity, the company that's got honesty, the company that our children want to be involved with? Guess who's going to cash in on it? Us.
Here's what your customers want. They want you to believe that they're going to lose weight even more than they believe in it themselves. They want your excitement. They want your enthusiasm. They want to see what's in your eyes, what's in your heart, okay? And I'm telling you something. If you'll just dig down deep and feel what it's like to be the customer, okay? Because most of the customers, if they say no to you, they don't want to try this. Let me tell you something. They don't mean no. They just mean that I don't want to try on another weight loss program one more time. It has nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with the lacking in your dress or where your check's at this moment or where your business is at this moment. It just means that there's a lot of people out there that can't get the guts up one more time. That's why if we can feel down in the pit of our stomach how it is for them to be as an individual, we can talk to them, okay? And they feel what we say in our heart, and they feel what we say in our eyes, and they start to believe in how it comes out. Not what you say, how you feel about what you say is what's important. And they get on the product, and finally they're losing weight, and someone who's very negative is very happy, and pretty soon the husband's on the product, and he's losing weight, and they're doing great together. And when they walk down every single day for the Sunday stroll, every single neighbor sees that they're looking good and feeling good, and everybody says, my goodness, the clouds are doing much better as people and stuff like that. And then they hear about the Herbalife opportunity, and they invite them down to the Tuesday night's meeting, and pretty soon they're on the world team, and pretty soon they do their 10,000 3 months and at the row, and they're at the home office, and they're becoming Get Team members.
Many times it's not what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that are important. And that's why we want you to use them first. Because when you use them, you get the confidence to look at people's eyes, and what comes out from your stomach and your heart comes out in your mouth, and people feel what you say. Why is Herbalife so different than all the rest of the multi-level companies? The product. It's the passion that all of our people have about the products. Here's a second big secret in Herbalife. And this is not something that's taught. It's something that you experience. Why was it that Mark Hughes didn't conduct this entire training class for 2 days? I could have been the star of this show for 2 days. I got it in me, by the way, to talk for 2 straight days about Herbalife. Got it in me. Don't know if my voice has got it in me, but okay, I could talk for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 25 days about Herbalife. So why did I not get up here and talk for 2 straight days to you guys and become the star of the show? Because let me tell you one of the secrets in Herbalife. It's a big secret, big secret. It's the different stories in Herbalife that affect people. See, it's not one story. See, why would I just not get up here and try to put the giant Herbalife whammy on every one of you, okay? I could put the whammy on all of you, but you know what? There's each and every one of you, there's somebody that was up here over these last couple of days that you said, God dang it, that was incredible what that person said. And they got you. Why wasn't every single person the 3-piece suit, red tie type person? Why did we have one person like a dentist that got up there and did a marvelous job? And then you got a completely different opposite couple like Bill and Clem Heron. Sometimes some of the worst things in your life can be some of the greatest things that ever happened to you. Seriously. Seriously. A friend of mine always told me, he says, if the experience doesn't kill you, you'll be a better man for it. How do you keep a customer motivated? Okay, I want to talk about how do you keep your customer motivated. You keep your customer motivated if you want to, when you're first getting your customer, you tell them your own testimonial. That's how you motivate them. You tell them your own testimonial. If you don't have a great testimonial, what's great about now as compared to when we started, because we had no stories, okay, and it was very difficult. All we talked about was the future and how it was going to be and how everybody was going to lose. Today, if you don't really have a great story because you haven't really lost much weight because you didn't have much weight to lose, you use other people's stories, okay, about how they've lost weight, okay, to keep the customer motivated, okay? Write this one down because this is a big one. You continue to go back and tell the person more stories and more stories and more stories. That's why we keep printing you lots of journals, okay, so you have lots of different stories to continue to tell people. Telling them one story is great. Showing them 4 stories is better. Showing them 100 stories every single month as time goes on, because it's, write this down, it's the fresh stories that keep you excited. Not only you, but them. Now the other place how you keep them excited is if you've got weight to lose, okay? If you've got weight to lose, maybe you started off on the product and you lost 10 kilos right away and you were excited, okay? And there's no question when you're excited, you sell lots of product, okay? But now let's suppose you've plateaued and you've still got 25 kilos to lose, okay? And now you're going back to your customers and you're trying to convince your customers it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If you stay the same weight over a month after month after month, you're not gonna keep your customers motivated, okay? Because they're gonna see that you are pitching something that's not reality because you are not continuing to lose your weight. So if you want to continue to make your customers excited, okay,
That means that you have to take responsibility for your own weight, your own looks, your own face, your own health the most. Because that what you are is what you project, and that's what your people believe in, okay? And I'm not trying to put so much pressure on you that if you really got a lot of weight to lose here today and all that you got to get rid of it this week. I'm not saying that. What you got to do this week is you've got to make some progress. 1 pound, 2 pounds, okay? Next week, 1 pound, 2 pounds. I promise you, any of you that are having problems with selling the product, lose your weight, and it'll take care of everything. I'm serious. Sometimes we have this ability to lie to ourselves about why things are not going right, okay? And it's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited, and you get more confident, and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart, okay? That is what people believe in, okay? So you got to take responsibility for yourself first and get excited about what's happening to you, and that will excite other people because you have to match your pitch. If you're saying something and you are not matching the pitch, okay, then it's no wonder people don't believe so much. And again, I'm not trying to say it's got to be all at once. Here's the most important thing. Write this down. You got to make some progress, okay? Little by little by little by little so that you can keep yourself excited. A lot of people have asked me how did I keep myself so excited back in the beginning? One, I was working on myself, and number two, I got lots of people, okay? If you have one customer and it's a refund, how's your business look? Bad, okay? If you got 100 customers and you only get 4 or 5 refunds, does it bum you out? Not much, okay? Because you got another 40, 50, 80 customers telling you their new experience about what's happening and what's going on and what's happening. Those stories is what keeps you excited. And those stories that you get that keep you excited, you tell those stories to other people and you keep them excited. Every time I go and do another rally and stuff like that, we've come back and we've seen other things happen to people and we've heard their stories, and I keep interjecting all my different stuff that happens, okay? And so keep it fresh by doing lots.